No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. What if I told you that the version of yourself you see in the mirror, the habits, the fears, the doubts you've been carrying all this time is not who you were born to be? Imagine shedding every limiting belief, every toxic attachment, and standing alone, unshaken, fully in command of your life. That's not just philosophy, it's transformation. In this video, we're going to strip away the old you, layer by layer, and rebuild a stronger, wiser, and more unbreakable version of yourself, all through timeless Stoic wisdom. You'll learn how solitude becomes your greatest ally, how detachment becomes your power, and how mastering your inner world reshapes your outer reality. Stick with me until the very end, because what you'll discover here is not just motivation. It's a blueprint for complete personal metamorphosis. Every insight, every principle we explore is a tool you can use immediately to break free from old patterns and emerge as someone who commands respect, peace, and purpose without compromise. Are you ready to destroy the old you and step into a version of yourself that others only dream of? Then keep watching. Your transformation begins now. Number 1, embrace solitude to discover your true self. Solitude is not emptiness. It is a canvas waiting for you to paint the truest version of yourself. When you step away from the constant noise, from the endless chatter of opinions and expectations, you allow the space for your mind to breathe, to stretch, to see clearly. Said, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. And he wasn't talking about isolation as punishment, but as opportunity. Solitude is a mirror. In it, the distractions fade, and what remains is raw, unfiltered you. You owe it to yourself to embrace this, not as a luxury, but as a necessity for transformation. When you commit to moments of intentional solitude, you begin to recognize patterns in your thoughts, habits that serve you, and habits that chain you. You begin to confront the parts of yourself you have ignored or buried under the weight of constant input from others. This is the foundation of rebuilding, the deliberate dismantling of the old, so you can construct something stronger, more authentic. To truly harness solitude, you need to make it a practice. Start small if you must. 10 minutes a day in silence, away from screens, away from conversation. Sit, breathe, observe your thoughts without judgment. Watch the mind wander, then gently bring it back. Notice what arises: fear, longing, frustration, curiosity. These are signals, clues to what lies beneath the surface. Journaling immediately after these sessions can anchor your insights. Write down what you notice, what you resist, what you crave. Over time, these reflections accumulate into a map of yourself, a guide that no external source can provide. You are your own teacher, your own philosopher, your own architect. Solitude also teaches discernment. In the quiet, you begin to hear the difference between desires that arise from external pressures and those that are genuinely yours. You learn to recognize fleeting cravings versus enduring values. Seneca reminded us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Solitude exposes the waste, the noise, the clutter. It gives you clarity on what deserves your energy and what is merely a distraction. And once you have clarity, action becomes purposeful. You no longer move because others expect it. You move because it aligns with your essence, with the values you have uncovered in silence. But solitude is not just reflection, it is training. In these moments, you strengthen self-reliance, resilience, and emotional stability. You practice being content in your own presence, untethered from validation, applause, or approval. You learn that your peace does not depend on anyone else. You become your own sanctuary, a steadfast presence in a world that constantly pulls attention outward. And as you emerge from solitude, the transformation is tangible. Your decisions are firmer, your actions more intentional, your energy less scattered. You begin to rebuild with precision, brick by brick, shaping a life that resonates with the truest version of you. To integrate this into your life, commit to structured solitude but also embrace spontaneous pauses. A walk alone, a quiet morning with no interruptions, a moment before sleep to reflect and center yourself. Notice how your mind responds. Notice the subtle shifts in perspective, in confidence, in calm. This is where your old self dissolves, not violently, not suddenly, but intentionally, gradually, so that what rises in its place is stronger, clearer, unshakable. Solitude is not avoidance, it is reclamation. You are reclaiming your time, your mind, your soul. You are learning to be fully yourself without apology, and that is the cornerstone of transformation. Number 2, let go of old habits, attachments, and toxic influences. You have to face it. Holding on to old habits, attachments, and toxic influences is like carrying a backpack full of rocks wherever you go. It slows you down, it weighs you down, and it keeps you from becoming the person you're meant to be. Once said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that. Every habit that no longer serves you, every attachment that drains your energy, every relationship or influence that keeps you small, these are not just obstacles, they are signals. Signals telling you that it's time to make space, to clear out the mental and emotional clutter, to create room for growth, for clarity, for power. You must act. You must decide with unwavering calm and firm resolve that you are done carrying what no longer serves you. Start by noticing. Observe the habits that slip into your day automatically, the routines that chip away at your focus, the thoughts that pull you into patterns of resistance or resentment. Do not judge yourself. Instead, catalog them with precision. Write them down. Seeing them on paper gives them shape, and when things have shape, they can be dismantled. Each habit, each attachment, each toxic influence is a chain. Journaling is your key. Take 10 minutes every morning to ask yourself, what habits am I choosing today? Which influences will I allow into my mind and spirit? What no longer belongs here? Make this reflection as natural as breathing. Over time, awareness sharpens into action. Next, practice deliberate detachment. This is not about denying reality, it is about reclaiming your sovereignty. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Repetition is key here. When you feel the pull of an old habit, pause, breathe, name it. Say to yourself, this no longer defines me, I release it. Visualize the habit as a rope tied to your ankle. With every conscious choice to not give in, you cut another strand. This exercise is subtle yet transformative. It rewires your mind, teaching it to seek freedom instead of comfort in repetition. Then tackle toxic influences. Not everyone in your life holds your growth as a priority, and that is okay. You do not need to fight or argue. You need to protect your energy. Observe interactions carefully. When someone consistently drains you, criticizes under the guise of care, or projects their fear and negativity onto you, begin the process of intentional distancing. You don't need drama, you need boundaries. Start small. Reduce exposure. Choose solitude over chaos. Replace draining interactions with reflective time, meditation, or journaling. This is your inner temple. Build it meticulously, stone by stone. Finally, replace what you release with what nourishes you. Freedom is not emptiness, it is fertile ground. Introduce habits that empower your mind, body, and spirit. Exercise, reading, meditative reflection, intentional focus, and daily gratitude are not just rituals. They are tools to forge a stronger, unshakable you. Each positive action reinforces your decision to let go, cementing your transformation. Reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop debating within yourself. Act. Replace, build, and grow deliberately. Every habit you release, every attachment you untangle, every toxic influence you distance yourself from is a brick removed from a crumbling wall around your soul. And each brick you set in its place, forged from intention and Stoic wisdom, builds the new structure, strong, resilient, and unapologetically yours. This is the work of solitude, of inner focus, of disciplined self-mastery. Commit to it daily. Breathe, observe, release, and rebuild. You are not just letting go, you are reclaiming yourself, piece by piece, moment by moment, habit by habit. Number 3, use daily reflection and journaling to track inner growth. If you want to truly transform, to strip away the layers of who you were and consciously craft the person you are becoming, there is no shortcut, no magic spell, no external validation that can replace the simple yet profound act of looking inward. Daily reflection and journaling are not just habits, they are the tools that allow you to excavate your mind, to uncover the patterns, thoughts, and impulses that have been running unnoticed, quietly shaping your life. Said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you are willing to inspect those colors, to name them, to understand why they exist, you begin the work of mastering them. You begin to take control of your own evolution. You need to set aside time every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes, to sit in quiet with a pen and a page. This is your arena, your private workshop, where honesty is non-negotiable. Write down the moments that challenged you, the thoughts that pulled you off course, the reactions that surprised you, both the noble and the regrettable. Don't just skim the surface. Push deeper. Ask yourself hard questions. What did I avoid today? Where did I act out of fear or habit rather than purpose? Where did I show courage or clarity? Let the answers flow onto the page without judgment. This is where your mind begins to untangle itself, where awareness grows into power. Once you start this practice, patterns will start to emerge, subtle threads you might have ignored before. Maybe you see how often your energy is drained by distractions, or how recurring anxieties shape your decisions. Journaling transforms these abstract ideas into visible, tangible reflections. Seeing them written down gives you the opportunity to confront them, to choose differently tomorrow. It's like holding up a mirror not to your face, but to your inner life. Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Journaling helps you articulate exactly what you want to become, and it tracks the steps you are taking or not taking in that direction. But don't stop at observation. Use what you discover as fuel for action. Each insight, each revelation is a spark. Maybe you notice that impatience keeps tripping you up. Resolve in your journal to pause intentionally before reacting, to take a breath and measure your response against your values. Maybe you see that gratitude is fleeting, lost in the shuffle of daily life. Write a commitment to notice 3 things each day to anchor yourself in what matters. This is not just writing for the sake of writing. This is writing to forge yourself. With each entry, you are not just recording, you are shaping, clarifying, strengthening. The beauty of this practice is its compounding effect. Small reflections, small admissions, small commitments, repeated day after day, create a trajectory that can't be undone by fleeting moods or external chaos. Over time, you start to notice your growth. You see that reactions that once controlled you are now choices you navigate deliberately. You recognize that your mind, once scattered, has a rhythm, a clarity, a resilience. And the best part, you are doing this alone. You are building your inner fortress, brick by brick, word by word, day by day. So commit. Commit to picking up the pen. Commit to looking at yourself with courage, compassion, and uncompromising honesty. Use your journal to confront your shadows, celebrate your wins, and track your ascent. Make reflection a non-negotiable ritual, a daily dialogue with yourself that reminds you, you are the architect of your inner life, the sculptor of your character, and the only person responsible for the masterpiece you are creating. Do it. Start today. Watch as the old you fades, and the person you were always capable of becoming emerges, steady, deliberate, and unshakable. Number 4. Build resilience through deliberate challenges and self-discipline. You have to understand that resilience isn't something that magically appears when life gets hard. It's forged slowly, intentionally, through the choices you make to confront discomfort rather than flee from it. Once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That is your guiding principle here. Every challenge you willingly take on, every habit of self-discipline you impose, is a hammer striking the anvil of your inner strength. You must stop waiting for circumstances to demand resilience from you. Instead, create those circumstances. Make discomfort your training ground. Wake up earlier than you feel like, fast when your body protests. Push your mind to focus when distractions scream for attention. These small, deliberate acts of challenge teach you control over yourself, not just over the situation, and in that control lies freedom. Start by observing where you naturally avoid effort or pain. Maybe it's resisting a difficult thought, a strenuous exercise, or an uncomfortable conversation with yourself. Lean into those moments. Decide consciously that you will not retreat. Take a journal and list one challenge each day that you can pursue deliberately, not because it is convenient, but because it stretches you. Then commit. Each time you follow through, even when resistance is loud, your nervous system rewires. Your mind begins to trust that you can withstand more than you ever thought. Self-discipline is your gym. Each repetition, each refusal to yield to comfort is a rep for your character. Soon, you won't just survive pressure, you will bend it to your advantage. Resilience thrives on consistency. This is not a single heroic act, it's the accumulation of repeated choices, small and large. You must train yourself like a sculptor chiseling away at raw stone. Daily rituals matter. Set strict boundaries for your time, energy, and attention. Begin with your body, deliberate movement, controlled breathing, mindful nutrition. Then extend to your mind, reading challenging texts, meditating on uncomfortable truths, sitting with thoughts you would rather ignore. Each moment you choose discipline over ease, you condition yourself to remain unshaken when the world inevitably shifts against you. Stoic wisdom calls this practice of voluntary discomfort. It is not punishment, it is education. It teaches patience, fortitude, and clarity. And don't shy away from testing yourself in ways that feel slightly terrifying. There is immense value in voluntarily facing resistance. Pick a task that intimidates you, a habit that demands persistence, and commit to it daily until it loses its power over your hesitation. Observe the subtle growth that occurs in your mindset, the way fear or laziness loses its grip. Reflect on it at the end of each week. Journaling is crucial. Write down not just what you accomplished, but how your mind and body responded. This reflection converts action into insight, effort into wisdom. It makes your self-discipline tangible, trackable, undeniable. Finally, understand that building resilience is an act of radical self-respect. You are telling yourself, silently but firmly, that you are worthy of strength, worthy of autonomy, worthy of mastery over your impulses. The old you, who relied on convenience, avoidance, or approval from others, must be dismantled through these choices. Each disciplined act is a brick in the new foundation you are constructing alone. And the beauty of it is that once you internalize this approach, external chaos loses its power. The storms may rage, people may falter, but your center, your deliberate, disciplined, challenge-tested center, remains unshaken. So start today. Identify one discomfort you can embrace, one act of self-discipline you can commit to, and pursue it with intention. Repeat tomorrow and the next day. Build your resilience not by waiting for life to break you, but by choosing to test your limits, stretch your boundaries, and forge a version of yourself that no circumstance can shake. This is the essence of Stoic inner transformation, the destruction of the old self through deliberate challenge, and the construction of the new self through relentless, conscious effort. Number 5, focus on what is within your control and release what is. You have to understand something deeply. Most of the chaos, most of the anxiety, most of the restless nights are born from trying to control what is never yours to control. The truth is, life will throw storms your way. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will twist in directions you never imagined. And yet you hold an incredible power, a power that cannot be taken, your ability to focus only on what is within your control. Said it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Let that sink in. Your mind, your choices, your actions, these are yours. Everything else is noise, distraction, and unnecessary weight. You must practice seeing clearly the line between what you can influence and what is beyond your reach. This is not passive acceptance. This is deliberate, strategic focus. Start small. Each morning, take a few moments to write down what you can control today. Maybe it's how you respond to a challenge. Maybe it's how disciplined you are with your habits. Maybe it's the effort you put into your work or your self-improvement. Write it down. Circle it. Hold it like a torch because that torch is your clarity. Then make a second list. What is outside your control? The people's opinions, the traffic that slows you down, the market's fluctuation, the weather. Once you've identified these, practice releasing them. Literally, take a deep breath and say, I will not waste energy on this. It is not mine to carry. Do it daily. Let it become a ritual. Each repetition trains your mind to discriminate between what deserves your focus and what is meaningless distraction. Here's the crucial part. Focusing on what you can control transforms the way you engage with the world. Instead of reacting with frustration, you act with intention. Instead of burning energy on resentment or regret, you channel it into your growth. Imagine every ounce of stress you've been carrying evaporating because you stopped trying to bend the unbendable. That is freedom. And freedom fuels reconstruction. You are not just surviving, you are rebuilding yourself stone by stone. You are aligning your energy with purpose, clarity, and resilience. Exercise your control like a muscle. Choose one habit today that is within your power. The way you speak, the way you plan, the way you hold yourself in silence. Observe it, refine it, commit to it fully. Then deliberately let go of one thing today that you cannot control. Maybe it's the outcome of a conversation, the judgment of someone else, the trajectory of an event. Observe the relief in your chest, the space it opens inside you. This is no small practice. This is mastery over your own experience. Over time, the cumulative effect will be profound. Remember, the old you was weighed down by illusions of control, by the futile desire to command the uncontrollable. The new you rises through acceptance, focus, and deliberate action. The Stoics teach that peace is not found in the world bending to your will, but in your mind bending to reality. Meditate on this daily. Reflect in the evening. Where did I focus wisely? Where did I waste energy on what was not mine? Gradually, you replace frustration with clarity, chaos with calm, and fear with resilience. You have this moment right now to choose differently. Choose to release the unnecessary weight. Choose to seize the power that is always yours. Focus on what you can change, your thoughts, your actions, your habits, and let everything else fall away. Build yourself on that foundation, strong, unshakable, free. This is not just a practice, it is a revolution of your inner world. And every day you do it, the old you crumbles further, making space for the you who is unbreakable, disciplined, and entirely in command of your own mind. Remember the words of, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Today, you've learned how to strip away the old version of yourself, detach from what no longer serves you and begin rebuilding, alone with clarity and purpose. Transformation isn't easy and it isn't quick, but every moment you choose self-mastery, every step you take in solitude to refine your mind, brings you closer to the strongest, most unshakable version of yourself. If you commit to these Stoic principles, You'll stop reacting to the chaos around you and start shaping the life you truly want. So take what you've learned, practice it daily, and embrace the quiet power of rebuilding yourself from the inside out. If this video resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, your journey of inner transformation is only as limited as the boundaries you set for yourself. Step into your solitude, take control, and rise stronger than ever. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. What if I told you that the endless scrolling, constant notifications, and digital noise are quietly rewiring your brain, stealing your focus, draining your energy, and making it harder than ever to feel truly present? You think you're choosing what you consume, but in reality, algorithms are choosing for you. In 2025, your attention is the most valuable currency, and everyone's trying to spend it for you. The question is, will you let them? Or will you reclaim it? This video is not about throwing your phone in a river or disappearing into the woods. It's about practicing a stoic approach to technology, a digital dopamine detox that helps you control your mind instead of letting your devices control it. If you stay with me until the end, you'll not only understand why your focus feels fractured, you'll have a clear, actionable stoic blueprint to sharpen your mind, regain discipline, and finally feel in control again. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Let's stop letting the world hijack it. Watch closely, your focus depends on it. Number 1, recognize the hidden costs of constant digital stimulation. You probably don't even notice it anymore. The subtle pull to check your phone, the quick scroll before bed, the constant drip of notifications. Each one feels harmless, but together they form an invisible chain. The Stoics warned about this kind of subtle enslavement. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you live in a constant state of digital stimulation, you're no longer steering the ship, you're reacting twitch by twitch to every digital wave. The hidden cost isn't just the time you lose. It's the mental energy, the focus, and the depth of thought you trade away without realizing it. Every ping fractures your attention. Every quick hit of novelty rewires your brain to expect the next one. Over time, you become less patient with silence, less comfortable with stillness. You start needing constant noise to feel normal. And here's the most dangerous part. Your mind starts to crave stimulation over substance. Instead of deep work, you settle for shallow distractions. Instead of deliberate thought, you get dopamine-driven impulses. The more you feed this cycle, the more your natural ability to focus, reflect, and simply be erodes. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. But if your mind is constantly hijacked, that power weakens. To break free, you first have to see the chains. Start noticing when you reach for your device without thinking. Track how often your mind seeks escape through a screen. Don't judge yourself, just observe. This awareness is your first act of rebellion. Practical Stoic exercises to reclaim control. Attention auditing for one day. Every time you pick up your device, write down why. At the end, look at the patterns. Are most reasons urgent or habitual? Micro pauses before opening any app. Take 3 slow breaths. Ask, do I control this action or does the impulse control me? Silence training. Spend 10 minutes a day without any stimulation. No phone, no music, no podcasts. Just sit, breathe, and let your mind settle. Dopamine delay. When you feel the urge to check something, wait 2 minutes. If the urge fades, it wasn't worth your attention. When you strip away constant stimulation, something incredible happens. You feel time again. You think more clearly. You stop chasing and start choosing. That's the essence of a digital dopamine detox, not escaping the modern world, but mastering it. If you can learn to see the hidden costs, you'll stop paying them. And in their place, you'll buy back something priceless: your ability to live with intention, clarity, and presence. As a Stoic in 2025, that's not just a luxury, it's your armor. Number 2, apply Stoic principles to master your impulses. If you want to break the hold that digital distractions have over you, you've got to start where all Stoic practice begins, inside your own mind. The screen isn't the enemy. The app isn't the enemy. Your impulses are. And if you can master them, nothing out there can control you. The Stoics understood that most suffering comes from being ruled by urges you never stop to question. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's the key here. Not to cut yourself off from technology entirely, but to stop letting it dictate your attention. When you feel that twitch to check your phone just for a second, pause. Don't fight the urge with force, observe it, give it a name. This is impatience. This is boredom, wrote in Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Every time you notice an impulse without acting on it, you weaken its grip. Here's a truth you need to embrace. Your impulses aren't commands, they're suggestions, and you get to decide whether to accept or reject them. Most people live as if every mental notification demands an immediate response. That's not freedom. That's slavery with a glowing screen. Practical Stoic exercises to apply right now. The pause drill: the moment you feel the urge to check, swipe, or scroll, count to 10 before acting. Often, the wave passes and you realize it wasn't worth following. Negative visualization: imagine the cost of giving in every time. Picture your mind scattered, your time wasted, your goals delayed. Let that image make giving in less attractive. Voluntary discomfort: set small periods where you deliberately withhold digital stimulation. No music while walking, no phone at meals. Train yourself to be at ease without constant input. Daily review: at night, reflect. How many times did I master my impulse today? How many times did it master me? Celebrate the wins without judgment over the losses. Just aim to improve tomorrow. Remember, the Stoic path isn't about punishing yourself. It's about regaining sovereignty over your choices. Each act of restraint is a victory, no matter how small. Over time, you'll find you're no longer reacting to every beep, buzz, and banner. You're choosing, and choice is where real freedom lives. In 2025, the most radical act of independence might be this: to see a temptation, feel its pull, and smile as you let it pass. That's mastery. That's the kind of focus no algorithm can touch. And that's yours if you practice. Number 3, replace mindless scrolling with purposeful action. When you find yourself lost in endless scrolling, you're not actually relaxing. You're training your mind to crave the next microhit of stimulation. The Stoics would call this a form of slavery, not to another person, but to impulse. Warned, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. If you let your thumb wander aimlessly, you're letting your focus and your life slip through those tiny swipes. Replacing mindless scrolling with purposeful action starts with reclaiming your attention. Every moment you spend online without intention is a moment stolen from something that could actually move your life forward. Purposeful action isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Things that align with your values, challenge your mind, or strengthen your body. The difference is subtle but powerful. One drains you, the other builds you. Here's the truth: you won't drift into a life of clarity and focus. You have to steer toward it, and that steering begins with awareness. The next time your hand reaches for your phone without thought, pause. Ask yourself, is this action serving my higher self, or is it feeding my restlessness? This 1-second interruption can be enough to reroute your energy into something that has meaning. Think of your attention as currency. Spend it where it compounds. That could mean reading a page from a book instead of scrolling a feed, jotting down 3 thoughts in a journal instead of checking notifications, or doing a set of push-ups instead of watching another 30-second clip. These aren't just better uses of time, they're acts of sovereignty over your own mind. The Stoics lived with the principle of preparing the mind for distractions and temptations before they strike. In the digital world, that means setting up your environment so mindless scrolling isn't your default. Keep your phone out of reach during focused work, set app limits, or replace your home screen with a single tool you use intentionally. Practical exercise. Awareness audit for the next 3 days. Track every time you open a social app. Write down what you were feeling before you opened it. Boredom, anxiety, habit. This will reveal your triggers. Purpose swap. Each time you feel the urge to scroll, replace it with one small, purposeful action. Stretching, deep breathing, reading, writing a single sentence, or making progress on a personal goal. Evening review. At night, ask yourself, did I control my attention today, or did I give it away? Write down one win and one thing to improve tomorrow. You don't need to abandon technology, you need to reclaim the driver's seat. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. When you replace mindless scrolling with purposeful action, you're not just doing different things, you're becoming a different person. The kind who decides where their energy goes and who refuses to live on autopilot. Number 4, build a daily ritual of intentional stillness. If your mind feels like it's been hijacked by endless notifications, flashing screens, and that itch to just check one more thing, it's time to reclaim your inner ground. A Stoic knows the value of stillness, not as an empty pause, but as a deliberate act of mastery. Wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's exactly what you must start building, a daily, intentional sanctuary from the noise. This isn't about randomly grabbing a moment when life gives you the chance. It's about setting a non-negotiable appointment with yourself, a pocket of time where you step away from stimulation and into awareness, where you choose to be still, not because the world stops, but because you refuse to be carried away by its current. The beauty of intentional stillness is that it recalibrates your mind. In the beginning, it will feel uncomfortable. Your brain, addicted to microbursts of dopamine, will scream for distraction, but push through. Even 2 minutes of pure stillness, when practiced daily, becomes a mental anchor. You'll notice your thoughts slowing, your breath deepening, your awareness sharpening. Practical exercises to begin today. Set a time and space. Pick the same time daily, even if it's just 5 minutes. Use the same chair, corner, or spot. Repetition conditions your mind to enter stillness faster. Close the loops. Put your phone in another room. Silence all devices. Let people know this time is off limits. This is your fortress. Breathe like you mean it. Inhale slowly for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Feel each breath without rushing to finish. Observe without grabbing. Let thoughts pass without chasing or fighting them. You're not here to wrestle your mind, just to watch it without judgment. Seal it with intention. When you end your stillness, set a single, clear focus for the next few hours. This is how stillness becomes action. Think of it like sharpening your sword before entering the battlefield. Without stillness, your strikes are clumsy, reactive, and wasteful. With stillness, every move has weight. Epictetus reminds us, if you wish to be in control of your soul, withdraw into yourself. That's exactly what you're doing, fortifying your inner citadel. Make this ritual sacred, not in the mystical sense, but in the disciplined, unshakable sense. Guard it from excuses. Protect it from urgent distractions. Soon, you'll realize that these moments of intentional stillness aren't stealing time from your life. They're giving it back to you in the form of clarity, focus, and control. Tomorrow's battles will be won in the stillness you choose today. Build it, defend it, live it. Number 5, measure progress and refine your focus over time. Measure progress and refine your focus over time. This is where your digital dopamine detox transforms from a short-lived experiment into a life-altering discipline. The Stoics didn't just act on impulse. They observed, assessed, and adjusted. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The key is to stop wasting attention on what doesn't matter and keep sharpening your aim toward what does. You can't improve what you don't track. Without reflection, your detox turns into guesswork, and guesswork is the enemy of mastery. You want evidence, not vague impressions, of how your focus, energy, and discipline are evolving. That means setting checkpoints, weekly, even daily. Look at the hours reclaimed from mindless scrolling. Notice how many times you resisted the urge to check a notification. See the patterns that keep pulling you back into the digital quicksand. This isn't about obsessing over perfection. It's about tuning your inner compass. Imagine your mind as a lens. At first, it's fogged by digital clutter. Each review session wipes away another smudge. Over time, you see the world and yourself with greater clarity. The more you measure, the more you notice what works and what drags you backward. You don't just react to your environment, you consciously reshape it. Here, where the Stoic mindset comes in, treat each setback as feedback, not failure. Reminded himself, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. Apply that to your detox. If you slip and binge on distractions, endure the discomfort of starting again. Adjust your strategy, refine your boundaries, and step forward without self-pity. Practical exercises. The evening audit before you sleep. Note 3 moments you stayed present and 3 moments you lost focus. This turns your attention into data. The weekly focus score. Rate your focus from 1 to 10 each day, then average it on Sunday. Look for trends. Refinement rule. Every week, remove one trigger that tempts you into digital drift and replace it with one focus-boosting habit. Measuring your progress isn't about inflating your ego. It's about holding yourself accountable. Over time, this slow, deliberate refinement turns your detox into a way of life. You become less swayed by the instant gratification of the digital world and more anchored in the deep satisfaction of self-control. The truth is, your focus won't perfect itself. You have to forge it day after day with patient self-awareness and a willingness to adapt. That's how a digital dopamine detox in 2025 stops being a challenge you try and becomes a standard you live. If this video has shown you anything, it's that your focus, your attention, your very peace of mind is yours to reclaim. You don't have to be a prisoner of constant pings, endless scrolls, and mindless distraction. You can choose stillness over chaos. You can choose discipline over impulse. The ancient Stoics taught that control begins within. And now, you've got the tools to strip away the noise and strengthen your mind against the pull of digital temptation. But knowing is only half the battle. The real change comes when you apply these principles daily. So, as you step away from this screen, ask yourself, will I drift back into distraction, or will I steer my own mind? Make the choice today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, your focus is worth fighting for, and it starts the moment this video ends. Stay disciplined, stay present, and as always, live with virtue. Discipline is the foundation of a strong soul. Seneca. What if I told you that every moment you hesitate, every time you let distractions win, you're giving away the power to shape your destiny? Imagine if pushing your limits wasn't just a rare act of willpower, but a daily habit, something you wake up and commit to without question. That's the core of Stoic discipline. It's not about harsh punishment or rigidity. It's about mastering yourself so that no external chaos can shake your inner peace. In this video, we'll dive deep into why discipline isn't just a skill but your destiny, how it molds your character, sharpens your focus, and turns your goals into reality. You'll discover practical Stoic insights to push past excuses, overcome laziness, and build an unstoppable momentum that transforms your life step by step. Stick with me until the end because the final lessons hold the key to unlocking a level of discipline that feels natural, powerful, and even freeing. This is your invitation to rise above the noise and own your future. Are you ready to push your limits every single day? Let's begin. Number 1, embrace discomfort to build true resilience. Discipline is destiny. Push your limits every single day. Stoicism. Embrace discomfort to build true resilience. Listen closely. If you want to become truly unbreakable, you've got to make friends with discomfort. Not just tolerate it, but welcome it like an old teacher who shows you where you're weak so you can grow stronger. The Stoics weren't interested in comfort. They knew life's challenges were the very fires that forged resilience and discipline. Reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that discomfort isn't your enemy, it's your greatest ally. Why? Because comfort is a cage. It lulls you into a false sense of safety, a place where progress slows and weakness thrives. Real strength, the kind that shapes your destiny, comes from pushing through that uneasy feeling. When you voluntarily expose yourself to discomfort, you're training your mind and body to adapt, to endure, and to conquer. Think of it as mental weightlifting. Each time you choose the harder path, you're building muscles of resilience. So how do you start? First, become aware of moments when you shy away from discomfort. Is it skipping that morning workout because your bed feels too cozy, avoiding difficult conversations, postponing tough decisions? Pinpoint those instances. Then take action. Make a habit of stepping into discomfort daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Push your limits with small challenges. Embrace cold showers, set stricter deadlines, or silence your phone for an hour. Notice how your resistance fades and confidence grows. Here's a simple exercise. Each day, write down one thing that makes you uncomfortable and face it head-on. Reflect on how it felt before, during, and after. This will sharpen your awareness and fortify your resolve. Remember Epictetus's wisdom. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. You aren't defined by ease or comfort. You are defined by your response to hardship. Choose discomfort. Embrace it. Because through it, you'll forge a version of yourself that can handle anything life throws your way. Discipline demands this courage. Resilience is born here. Push yourself daily and watch as your destiny unfolds before you, stronger, wiser, unstoppable. Number 2, set daily micro-goals that challenge your limits. Discipline isn't about giant leaps every day. It's about those tiny, deliberate steps you take, consistently pushing yourself just a little bit further than yesterday. That's why setting daily micro-goals that challenge your limits is so powerful. These small goals act like the bricks you lay one by one, building an unshakable foundation for your destiny. Think about what Seneca said. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. If you're serious about discipline, you can't afford to waste a single day with half-hearted effort. Micro-goals force you to focus your energy intentionally. They give you clear targets, not overwhelming mountains but manageable hills that stretch your capacity and sharpen your resolve. When you commit to these many challenges, you are training your mind to embrace discomfort, to find growth in struggle, and to refuse stagnation. Here's the key: make your micro-goals specific and measurable. Instead of saying, "I want to be better at my work," say, "Today I will write 200 words," or "I will hold a plank for 60 seconds." That clarity transforms vague ambition into actionable effort. And because the goals are small, they feel achievable. But don't mistake small for easy. Each micro goal should nudge your limits, testing your patience, your persistence, your ability to keep showing up when motivation fades. Reminds you that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you set micro goals that challenge you, obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're invitations. They sharpen your discipline. They push you to tap into the deeper strength that Stoics call virtue. So right now, take a moment. Write down 3 micro goals for today, goals that stretch your current ability just beyond your comfort zone. Keep them small but demanding. Then commit to hitting every one. Feel the power in these tiny victories stacking up, day after day, forging the disciplined, unstoppable version of you. This is how discipline becomes destiny. Number 3, practice self-control by mastering impulses. All right, let's get real about self-control, because mastering your impulses isn't just some boring rule, it's the backbone of discipline. Discipline is destiny, yes, but only if you push your limits by taking charge of those fleeting urges that try to run the show every day. When said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. He wasn't throwing out empty words. He was telling you straight up, your impulses don't have to control you. You can master them. Think about it, impulses hit fast. They want you to react now, to grab that quick pleasure, to avoid discomfort. But here's the thing. Every time you choose to pause, to breathe, to not give in immediately, you're flexing your mental muscle. That pause is your power moment. It's where you say, no, I'm bigger than this craving. I'm the boss here. Now, how do you turn that pause into a habit? Start small. When you feel the impulse, whether it's scrolling endlessly on your phone, snapping at someone, or eating something you promised yourself you wouldn't, take 3 deep breaths. Just that. Inhale, hold, exhale. Give yourself a moment to decide. That tiny break rewires your brain, making self-control a bit easier each time. Next, set clear boundaries for yourself. Write down what you want to control. Your impulses don't get to roam free without rules. Maybe it's limiting screen time or committing to a workout even when motivation dips. Whatever it is, put it in writing. This act of defining your limits makes your mind sharper and your resolve stronger. Remember Epictetus, who said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not about having endless choices. It's about having the discipline to choose what's best, even when your impulses scream otherwise. You want to push your limits? Start by mastering what's inside. Take those impulses, challenge them, and make them work for you, not against you. So here's your challenge. Today, pick one impulse you struggle with. When it hits, stop, breathe, choose your response deliberately, repeat. Day by day, you're building an unshakable fortress of self-control. This is your foundation for pushing limits and shaping your destiny. The path to discipline is paved with these small, victorious moments. Own them. Number 4, use setbacks as fuel for growth, not excuses. All right, let's get real about setbacks. They happen. Life throws curveballs, obstacles appear, and sometimes you just stumble. But here's the thing, those setbacks, they're not your enemies. They're not the reason you failed or the justification to quit. No. They are the very fuel that should ignite your growth, your discipline, your unshakable drive forward. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't just a fancy phrase to memorize, it's a call to arms. You have a choice every time life trips you up. You can either collapse into excuses or rise with resolve. Excuses steal your power. Growth demands that you own your response, that you turn every failure, every disappointment into momentum. Think about it like this. Setbacks are the weights you lift in the gym of life. They're the resistance that makes you stronger, tougher, sharper. When you hit a wall, don't let it stop you. Instead, ask yourself, What lesson is here? How can this difficulty sharpen me? What new skill or strength will I gain because of this challenge? Now you might say, but it's hard, it hurts. Yes, it does. Growth is rarely comfortable. It demands patience, grit, and an unyielding mindset. This is exactly where discipline becomes destiny. When you push through discomfort, when you refuse to let a setback define you, you are forging a character that no one can break. Here's your action step. Next time you face a setback, pause, breathe. Write down what happened and critically write one way this can make you better. Maybe you need to adjust your strategy, build a new habit, or simply strengthen your patience. Then commit to that action. No excuses, no blame, just relentless improvement. Remember wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your setbacks aren't detours, they are the path itself. Embrace them. Use them. Let them be the fire that fuels your daily push beyond limits. You are not defined by the falls, but by how fiercely you rise. So, own every setback and transform it into your next leap forward. That is the essence of true discipline, and that discipline, it is your destiny. Number 5, cultivate consistency through ritual and habit. All right, listen closely. Discipline isn't about sudden bursts of effort or rare heroic moments. It's built quietly day after day through the rituals and habits you commit to without question. You want to push your limits. Then you have to embrace the power of consistency. It's not flashy. It's not glamorous. But it's the bedrock of every Stoic's journey toward mastery. Said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This principle applies to how you build your daily life too. You create a system of small, deliberate actions that become your rituals. These aren't just tasks you check off. They are your armor, your daily forge where your character is hammered out. When you repeat the same habit day after day, you're not just building discipline, you're shaping destiny itself. Now you might think consistency means monotony. It doesn't. Think of it like this. Every morning you show up, every small task you nail, you're telling yourself, I am in control, I am unshaken. Your rituals become the rhythm of your strength. Meditation, journaling, exercise, reading, these are all tools to carve that unwavering consistency into your life. Here's a simple exercise for you. Pick one habit that feels doable but meaningful. Commit to doing it every day for the next month. No excuses, no breaks. When you slip, get right back up. That's the real test. The repetition builds a mental muscle far stronger than motivation ever could. Remember Seneca's wisdom. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your commitment to consistency isn't just a habit, it's the new beginning of your self-mastery. Push your limits by showing up for yourself relentlessly. This is how you own your destiny. Remember, discipline isn't some distant goal, it's the path you walk every single day. As said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So don't shy away from your challenges. Lean into them. Push your limits, even when it feels impossible. Because every small victory you earn today builds the unstoppable strength you'll need tomorrow. If you're serious about owning your destiny, start now. Take one disciplined step right after this video ends. Make it a habit and watch how your life transforms. If this message spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the fuel that keeps you moving forward. Share your progress in the comments. I want to hear how you're pushing your limits. Discipline isn't just a choice. It's your destiny. Own it. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. What if I told you that in just a few subtle shifts in your behavior and mindset, people will start treating you with a level of respect you never thought possible? It's true, and it's not about being louder, stronger, or more aggressive. Respect is earned silently, through your presence, your choices, and the way you command your own life before seeking acknowledgement from others. In this video, we're diving deep into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and its application in modern relationships. You're going to learn how to project calm authority, set invisible boundaries, and influence others without saying a word. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable strategies that will immediately change the way people respond to you at work, in social circles, and even in your closest relationships. So stay with me until the very last second, because every tip builds on the last, creating a compound effect that can transform your presence from overlooked to undeniable. Watch closely, apply deliberately, and by the time we finish, you'll understand exactly how to command respect, effortlessly, consistently, and with quiet power. Number 1, speak with calm confidence, not arrogance. If you want people to respect you, the first place to start is with your voice, literally. How you speak carries far more weight than the words themselves. Calm confidence commands attention in a way arrogance never will. Imagine standing in a room and saying what needs to be said without the need to dominate, without the need to shout, without the need to prove anything. That is the essence of power, the quiet, unshakable presence that draws respect naturally. Once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Arrogance is noise. Calm confidence is authority. Speaking with calm confidence is not about lowering your voice into a whisper or hiding behind hesitation. It's about grounding yourself in what you know, in your values, and in your preparation. Before you speak, breathe. Center yourself. Know that your voice carries weight simply because it is measured, deliberate, and clear. When you do this, every word becomes sharper, every pause intentional, and every sentence a reflection of your inner strength. This is the Stoic approach. Control the mind first, and the world will respond accordingly. Here's a simple exercise to build this habit. Practice speaking slowly and deliberately in front of a mirror. Notice where your voice wavers or rushes. Correct it. Feel the power that comes when your words flow from certainty rather than anxiety. Pair this with deep, calm breathing. With each inhale, draw and focus. With each exhale, release tension. Repeat until your words feel anchored in your presence, not in the approval or judgment of others. Remember, confidence is contagious, but arrogance repels. When you speak with calm certainty, people lean in, they listen. They feel the integrity behind your words. They respect the energy you carry. Arrogance, on the other hand, shouts for attention, compensates for insecurity, and ultimately erodes the credibility you're trying to build. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Your voice is a tool of freedom, a direct reflection of your inner mastery. Command it. Own it, speak with intention. Another practice. Before entering conversations, remind yourself that you are here to communicate, not to dominate. Visualize each sentence landing softly but firmly. Let your tone rise and fall naturally without forcing emphasis. Notice how this changes the dynamic. People respond to presence more than words. A calm, steady voice signals strength, emotional balance, and self-possession. This is the kind of respect that cannot be demanded. It must be earned through consistency and restraint. Take action right now. In every interaction today, focus on speaking with calm confidence. Notice your breathing. Notice your pace. Let the energy behind your words be grounded in clarity and purpose, not in ego or the desire to impress. Observe how people respond differently when you communicate from this place. Over time, this becomes second nature. Your calm confidence radiates. Your presence commands respect without you even trying. Every word, every pause, every glance becomes a subtle assertion of authority. This is not about volume or force. It's about mastery, about being the kind of person whose words matter, simply because they are rooted in self-control, clarity, and unwavering composure. Number 2, listen more than you talk. If you want to command respect, here's a truth few people truly understand. Talking less and listening more is one of the fastest ways to elevate how others perceive you. It's not about being quiet to blend into the background. It's about creating presence through attention. Seneca once said, "Every man is angry at the loss of time, and yet he wastes more of it than he uses." Every word you speak is a unit of time, of energy. Use it wisely. When you listen deeply, you're showing something far more powerful than words. You're demonstrating patience, awareness, and control. You're signaling that the world can speak, but you decide how you respond. Start by noticing your own impulses. The next time you feel the urge to interrupt, pause, count to 3 in your mind, let the other person finish. Let their words settle. Feel the subtle power in that silence. When you listen, really listen, you are not just absorbing information, you are gathering insight, understanding intentions, and decoding emotions. People feel it, they notice it, they respect it. Listening becomes a magnet. You stop chasing authority, and suddenly it starts following you. Turn listening into a habit. Practice asking questions that invite thought, that require reflection. Don't rush to offer answers or opinions. The temptation to talk is strong, but resisting it builds your presence. Reminds us, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own mind. When you listen, you create a similar space for others, a mental refuge where they feel seen, valued, and understood. That space alone commands respect. And here's an exercise. In your next conversation, consciously limit yourself to 50% of the speaking. Let pauses exist. Let silence breathe. Notice how people lean in, how they clarify, how they fill in gaps you've left intentionally. Observe the change in tone, in attention. Listening is active, not passive. Your mind must work. You must track, interpret, and respond with intention. Every nod, every reflective question, every small acknowledgement signals that you are fully present, fully aware. Over time, this practice transforms your relationships. People stop testing you with noise because they know your attention is deliberate. They stop rushing to impress you because they sense your quiet command. You are not overpowered by the conversation. You are guiding it subtly, steering its direction through calm presence rather than volume. Listening becomes your silent authority. Do this consistently. Make it a principle of interaction. Speak with purpose. Pause often. And always remember that respect is earned through restraint as much as through action. By listening more than you speak, you demonstrate control over yourself and over the environment. You teach others that your energy, your attention, and your voice are valuable. And when people feel the weight of your presence, when they recognize the intentionality behind your silence, they can't help but respect you. You don't demand it, you simply embody it. Number 3, set clear boundaries and enforce them. Respect isn't something people hand out lightly. It's earned the moment you show that you value yourself more than their approval, the moment you draw a line and refuse to let anyone cross it. Setting clear boundaries is not about being harsh or cold. It's about signaling that your time, your energy, and your values are not negotiable. Once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you let others trample over your limits, your mind is dyed with distraction, frustration, and resentment. But when you establish what you will and will not tolerate, you reclaim your mental space and command a quiet authority that people can't help but notice. Start by identifying your non-negotiables. What behaviors, conversations, or demands drain you or compromise your principles? Write them down, see them clearly. Then imagine yourself stating them calmly, firmly, without guilt or over-explanation. Boundaries are not suggestions. They are a declaration of who you are and what you deserve. Say no when it aligns with your limits. Protect your time like it's a treasure, because it is. Every moment you give to someone or something that violates your boundaries is a moment you steal from your own growth, your own peace, your own purpose. Enforcing boundaries is where many stumble. It's not enough to set them internally. You must hold the line in the real world, speak with clarity, act consistently. If someone ignores your boundary, respond immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't rationalize their behavior. Stoicism teaches us to separate what is within our control from what is not. You cannot control others, but you can control how you react. By enforcing your limits, you demonstrate that respect for yourself is not optional. Others will adjust because human nature instinctively recognizes strength. They will see that you are anchored, steady, unshakable. Practice this daily. Start with small things, a text that goes unanswered, a meeting that eats into your focus, a conversation that pulls you into unnecessary conflict. Decide beforehand how you will respond. Visualize yourself standing firm, calm, and composed while others test your resolve. Each small act of boundary enforcement is a rehearsal for bigger challenges, a training ground for self-respect. The more consistent you are, the less negotiation becomes necessary. Your boundaries speak louder than words. Remember, boundaries are not walls, they are the pillars of your presence. They allow you to engage fully without being drained. They teach people how to treat you because you teach them by example. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Your power is your attention, your energy, your time, your integrity. Guard it fiercely. Honor it daily. Don't allow the whims, demands, or manipulations of others to dictate your behavior. Stand firm, calmly, decisively. Over time, this becomes second nature. People begin to respect not only your limits, but the strength behind them. The unspoken confidence that radiates from someone who knows their worth. Take action now. Identify, declare, and defend your boundaries. Feel the shift as your presence becomes undeniable, as your calm authority commands attention without arrogance. Respect flows naturally to those who respect themselves first. When you refuse to compromise your principles, you are no longer at the mercy of others. You are anchored. You are seen. You are respected. Number 4, follow through on promises consistently. Respect is not demanded. It is earned quietly, steadily through actions that speak louder than words. And nothing builds respect faster or more reliably than consistently following through on the promises you make. Think about it. When you say something and then do exactly what you said, a silent message goes out to everyone around you. It's a declaration that your word is your bond, that your integrity is intact, and that people can rely on you without hesitation. Reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Being a person who keeps their word is the living embodiment of that Stoic principle. Every promise you make is a seed. If you neglect it, if you let it wither or crumble, the people around you notice. Trust erodes, respect fades. But when you nurture your promises, watering them with attention and action, they grow into unshakable credibility. Start with small commitments. Give your word on simple things and see them through. Make it a habit to say what you mean and mean what you say. If you commit to a task, a meeting, a response, honor it. Don't allow excuses, distractions, or convenience to weaken your resolve. Each time you fulfill a promise, you are not just doing a thing. You are sending a signal that your character is reliable, disciplined, and principled. To turn this into a daily practice, make it tangible. Keep a notebook or a digital log of promises you've made, big or small. At the end of each day, check in with yourself. Did you follow through? Did you prioritize your integrity over momentary comfort or avoidance? Reflection is essential. As Seneca said, no man was ever wise by chance. Following through is a deliberate act of wisdom. It's intentional. It's methodical. It's how you show the world who you really are. Consistency is the hidden multiplier. One fulfilled promise builds trust, two strengthen it, and repeated follow-through establishes a reputation that precedes you. People will begin to respect not just what you do, but the underlying force behind it. Your word, your reliability, your discipline. And that respect is immediate. You don't need to announce it, push for it, or demand it. It arrives naturally, drawn by the magnetic force of a person who honors their commitments. When challenges arise, when following through becomes inconvenient or inconveniently timed, that is the precise moment your respect is forged. Don't shrink from it. Lean into it. Hold yourself accountable. Remind yourself that your promises are not casual statements, they are contracts with your own character. Each time you honor a commitment, your inner voice grows stronger, your self-respect deepens, and the quiet admiration from others multiplies. You can start right now. Review your day. Identify one promise you've made, no matter how small, and ensure you fulfill it fully. Plan it, execute it, confirm it. Feel the weight and power of your word as it manifests in action. Do this repeatedly until following through becomes second nature, until your word is synonymous with reliability. This is not simply about being liked. It's about commanding genuine respect, rooted in integrity. Your actions define you more than your words ever could. Every promise kept is a brick in the fortress of your reputation, a mark of discipline that silently communicates, I am dependable, I am consistent, I am someone whose word matters. And when you carry this practice into every interaction, every relationship, every aspect of your life, respect will follow. Not because you demand it, not because you ask for it, but because you have proven yourself, time and time again, to be a person of unshakable principle. Number 5, command attention through presence, not words. Think for a moment about what true respect looks like. It's not a loud voice, a clever line, or even a perfectly timed argument. True respect, lasting, undeniable respect, is drawn from presence. The Stoics understood this instinctively. As Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Presence is doing. Presence is embodying your values in every posture, every breath, every glance. When you walk into a room, when you speak, or even when you remain silent, your energy communicates before words ever have the chance. Start noticing yourself right now. Are your shoulders slouched, your movements rushed, your gaze darting? Or do you carry yourself as if your very being is enough? Presence is about groundedness. It's about centering yourself in this moment so completely that you no longer need validation from anyone else. When you command your own energy, the world notices. Others can feel your steadiness, your calm, your certainty. And that is magnetic. You don't need to prove yourself. You simply exist in a way that demands acknowledgement. Here's your action. Begin today by practicing stillness. Stand for 1 minute completely still, feet planted, spine aligned. Breathe slowly. Observe the world around you without reacting to it. In this simple exercise, you're training your mind to own space, to inhabit it fully. Then take it further. Walk across a room with deliberate intention. Feel each step. Feel the weight of your body. Let your gaze meet others without flinching, without apologizing. Let your voice, when it comes, emerge naturally from that centered calm, not from an attempt to impress. Presence is also about restraint. The Stoics knew that restraint is power. Wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Commanding attention doesn't mean dominating or overpowering others. It's about being so complete in yourself that you no longer need to compete. Your calm, your certainty, your measured responses create space for others to notice you, not your words, not your boasting. Every glance, every pause, every subtle movement communicates strength. People feel it, even if they can't name it. Practice makes this natural. Start by reducing filler words in your speech. Don't speak unless your voice adds weight. In conversation, listen more than you speak. Watch how people lean in, how attention naturally shifts toward you because presence is louder than noise. Even in silence, presence speaks volumes. Each day, reflect on moments where you felt rushed, distracted, or reactive. Identify where your energy scattered and imagine how it would shift if you embodied stillness instead. Rehearse it in your mind, and then step into real spaces and live it. You can command respect immediately, not through cleverness, charm, or pressure, but through deliberate presence. Stand tall, breathe deep, own your body, own your mind, own the space you inhabit. Practice this until it's automatic. Let it become a quiet, unwavering power that no one can ignore. Your energy, your focus, your calm certainty, they speak louder than words ever could. And when you commit to this practice daily, you'll notice something profound. Respect begins to follow naturally, effortlessly. People respond not to what you say, but to who you are, fully present, fully yourself, fully grounded in every moment. Remember what we discussed today. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned through your actions, your presence, and your unshakable calm. Start applying these principles immediately. Observe how people respond differently when you carry yourself with quiet confidence and intentionality. If you commit to practicing these strategies daily, you'll notice something powerful. People begin to listen, follow, and value your presence naturally. Respect isn't a one-time thing. It's a reflection of the consistent energy you bring into every interaction. So take control of your presence, master your reactions, and hold your boundaries without apology. Your journey to commanding respect starts with the small choices you make today. If this video helped you see the path clearly, don't stop here. Hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this wisdom. And remember, the real transformation comes when you put these principles into practice every single day. Stay disciplined, stay calm, and watch respect follow wherever you go.